Dude, it. So I've been in, as you know, I've lived here in Texas
You live in Texas?
for 1 year now, a little over a year. I have not had a car for this entire time.
Of course.
So I walk a lot, walk everywhere.
Yeah.
And last summer, then it was hot. It definitely was hot. There's some 110-degree days, whatever. But it never really bothered me. I never got it. I was like, it's hot. It is. Today is the most uncomfortable heat I've ever felt in my life outside.
Yeah.
Could not believe it. So it only reads 100 degrees outside.
Sorry, I had to mute you for a second.
That's okay. It only reads 100 degrees outside, but it says it feels like 110. But I've been in 110-degree weather. It feels like 120-degree weather outside. Because there was like some thunderstorms, I think last night. So
Yeah.
it's like humidity in the air. Dude. Drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
I also got attacked by birds, which
That's brutal.
I walked to the grocery store to get some lunch.
Yeah.
I got literally attacked by a bird. I'm not kidding. It was so embarrassing.
Dude, you know what's funny? This is somewhat related.
Yeah.
But yesterday, during my run, I got really tired and I was really dehydrated, so I stopped. I took like a 5-minute break. I sat down and I recorded my daily TikTok as I sat there, and I was like, I don't normally do this. It's really hot, whatever. And when I was editing the TikTok, I thought it'd be really funny to put like bird noises over because I was sitting outside. So I put bird noises over the TikTok and I made them super loud. It just didn't mention it in the video, just like super loud birds chirping. And Trey, because so Anthony growing up, he had birds, and birds are like super loud in the morning, as everyone knows.
Anthony had birds growing up?
Yeah, he had like a bird cage in his living room. It was the room that we would
always a bird kid.
Yeah.
Like in every school.
Yeah. And those birds would wake you up at 4 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, I put the really loud bird noise over my TikTok, and I was talking to Trey about it, and he thought those birds were real. He thought there was actually just super loud birds. He's like, I thought you were like a nature conservatory.
That's so funny.
Because obviously I'm just talking, right? So I'm not acting like there's really loud birds. It's just like chirping.
Right.
Oh, Brandon brings a good point. Well, first of all, Brandon, I see your likes and I appreciate them. Brandon's an avid follower of the running journey on TikTok.
Oh, I love it. I'm an avid follower of Brandon's vlogs. I just watched his most recent one that he posted. Him and his girlfriend Brenda went to Waikiki. You give it a thumbs up.
Give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm a supportive friend. I'm a supportive friend.
Wait. You give the vlog a thumbs up, or he gave Waikiki a thumbs up?
I gave the vlog a thumbs up. And it sounds like it was their second time there, so I'm assuming gives it a thumbs up. I
thought what you were saying is he has a grading system of places that he goes, and it's either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Felt very Gladiator.
That could be an idea for the channel. I don't think he's really rating stuff though. I think he's just Brandon's very good at documenting just like what's going on. And Brandon's one of my, earliest friends, especially since I moved to Seattle and grew up there. And he always had a knack for just giving for just documenting a moment and giving just like a funny, what am I trying to say? An observation. He's really funny observations of like normal things. And that comes out in this vlog. It's like he's just like sitting on a plane, and it's just like the way he's talking about it. He's like, we're on the plane. He's like, yeah, can you tell we're on the plane? It just shows the whole plane. He's like, we're on a plane. I don't know. The other thing about Brandon is I've noticed he does stuff that only makes me laugh and no one else. So he has a weird foothold in my sense of humor, and I'm just magnetically drawn to him for that. So
Which I'm jealous of, because a part of Nick and I's friendship origin story is I didn't make him laugh for like 7 months of our friendship since knowing him. Like I did not do a single thing. I did not do a single thing to make him laugh for like a very long time. And I'm a funny guy sometimes. I know. I get it. I get it. I'm jealous. I'm a jealous human being.
I'm kidding. No, I don't know.
It's a slow burn. Let's say hi to everyone really quick. So we got Sky and we have Alyssa on Facebook. We have some more people on Facebook, but they haven't commented. So if you're there on Facebook, hello.
Yeah.
We have
give us a what's up if you're on Facebook or YouTube.
Kira, Kara, Laura, hello. Kara says anything over 100 is awful. I agree. And obviously, Brandon's here, and so is Jessica and Melanie. So
yeah,
we're caught up to speed. So there's been a word in my head that I've been trying to think of, and I need your help really quick.
I love it. What do you need help with?
So the word starts with an A, and the word means like having all of the most up-to-date information, but you just filled someone in. So it's like, now that and it's an A word with all the information, what do you think? I thought it was abreast, but I don't think that's right.
I almost want to say apropos, but I know that's not it. Up to date, briefed. Is it 18 to briefed?
No, it's like I mean,
now that you're like caught up or
so no, David said you can keep someone abreast. I have been thinking abreast, and I think the reason I've been thinking about this is because someone said it like that, and I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, does that work? And then yeah, there it is. I've thought this multiple times. Like this week is coming to my head where I've said, thank you for keeping me. And I was going to say abreast. And I just said, thanks for telling me. And I stopped my thought, and I just said, thanks for telling me. So
I believe that's called an N400. So there's two, these are like, there's like linguistic terms. So like in the study of like oration, like you're making like a speech or something.
Yeah.
You have what's called, I think it's P600 and N400. So P600 are like terms, phrases, words, sayings that we're all super familiar with. So much so that our brain kind of like turns off. Just kind of like, but like those N400 things are the ones that like, they're so unfamiliar to our brain. But it's like a new idea that it makes what you're saying super memorable. And so, like, the most memorable speeches that we all think of, like Gettysburg Address or like I Have a Dream, like all of these, they have these like N400 footholds in them that like stop your brain. And people do it on accident all the time by using like bigger words or more like complicated words. And so the reason that stuck with you is because your brain was like, hold on. We know what this is, but we have to think about this. Pretty interesting.
And the interesting thing about abreast is because when I'm coaching, we run on this trail, and you want to have good trail etiquette, right? Because sometimes there'll be 8, 9 people all running together.
Yeah.
So you want to stay 2 abreast. So I've always thought of abreast in that particular context.
Yeah, that's how I think about it too. I don't even know you could use it in a different. So what context are you thinking of it in?
In the original context, to keep someone abreast is to keep them up to date with the most up to date information. Oh,
so you're like in line.
Yeah. So David dropped the definition. Up to a particular standard or level, especially of knowledge of recent developments, tries to keep abreast of the news.
Interesting. So
it's actually it's a really powerful phrase. Now that I'm thinking about it, like it's very specific. but I feel like it explains exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I feel like the term or the way you heard it is more correct, but more rare.
Yeah.
I always think like airplane seats, like
Yeah.
we're sitting three abreast or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is still correct. It's just a different use case for the word abreast.
Man, a lot of these live streams are just you and I learning about different words.
Yeah. It really is. All right.
Yep.
We got business today, though. We got hard hitting business to take care of today.
Yeah, we do. We it's been a very exciting, couple months for us, but really that's been compacted into these last couple weeks as we gear up for our third Kickstarter. We are launching the Heroes Planner on June 27th. That is in 9 days. Wait, sorry,
11 days.
11 days. Sorry, 11 days. And we're going to talk about it. We have new prototypes I'm going to show off to you on the live stream. I'm super excited. We shot some pictures and some video actually in my apartment last night. That's going to go to the Kickstarter video. The final animation is done. We have a landing page built. We have over 1,000 RSVPs for the actual campaign. But with all that, I just want to ask you, Kyle, in front of all these people, we haven't talked about this. How are you feeling about it?
You want my
I want your honest opinion.
I'll give you both sides of the cup. I'll give you half full and half empty.
Got it.
So half full, I'm over the moon. And the reason I'm over the moon is because not because I think that we're gonna like raise $70 billion and we're gonna become like a tech giant, but because I think that the product that we made is going to genuinely fill in a gap in our product offering that we have right now. And people are going to be heroes are going to be really excited about it when they get in their hands. I genuinely believe that this has been like a little bit of an oversight as far as our product offering.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to have this kind of option because I think it's going to make our website and our whole business and brand like a lot stickier for people to kind of jump in. Because remember, our mission has nothing to do specifically with like 5Ks run, weight loss, like degrees earned. It has everything to do with people treating themselves like the hero that they are, treating themselves kindly, consciously, and helping them kind of lead a heroic lifestyle. That is everything. The results we don't care about. It's all about the systems and the way that we treat ourselves. So I feel like this allows for another on-ramp for a different type of person who wouldn't use the Hero's Journal, but they could use the Hero's Planner. So yeah, I'm really pumped about that.
You said that really well.
The pessimist side of me is like scared, trapless.
Say shitless.
Shitless. I'm terrified. I mean, anytime you release a new product, it's like walking into a middle school dance, right? You're like, does anyone like me? Am I gonna be fun? Am I gonna act weird? Like you feel this like this massive self-consciousness,
yeah,
about everything you did. And this is one thing I will remember about marketing. And I will forget it when I feel it, but I'll remember it like in hindsight. Like people are just gonna forget about the thing, right? Like I've told people in my life like 10 times that we're launching a Kickstarter on June 27th, and they'll come back to me and be like, "What day is it?" And I'm like, if people in my life that are closest to me don't remember what day the Kickstarter is, how are the heroes going to know what day it is?
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, you're like, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to tell people like all the time that this is happening. So there's a little bit of like that jockeying as well, of just like reminding everybody like, hey, the Kickstarter June 27th, it's happening. So anyways, there's a lot of that going on too.
Yeah, that's well said. I think I like the way you split the question. So I'll give you my glass half full, glass half empty concept. I'll start with glass half empty, and then I'll end with glass half full. So yeah, I'm very much there with you. Kickstarter is absolutely terrifying. I think it's the most terrifying way to release a product because it's just so public. It's so out there. Everyone sees the numbers and you're just like, you have these expectations and you hear stories of these Kickstarters that take off. And sometimes that's really good for businesses. And sometimes it destroys businesses. So you're like stuck between this weird, like, feeling of like, I want this big Kickstarter, but it's like, I don't want it to be too big. But then it's like, what if it's so small that like we don't get funded, or like, that's also kind of embarrassing. And like, what if it's confusing? What if the product doesn't get there on time? There's so many things to be self-conscious about. And I just really feel like the last couple of weeks for me, I've been feeling the weight of that. So much so that I think it literally made me sick. Like I've been kind of sick this week. And so yeah, luckily this isn't my first time doing a Kickstarter. So I kind of know it's like, it'll get better. And the other thing to remember, and I'm glad that you led with this in yours, and this is I'm switching to glass half full. It's a Kickstarter. It's like, I think it's so easy to get in our heads and be like, oh, we only can sell the Heroes Planner for these 30 days. And then however that campaign goes, that's going to be the reflection on how that product is for the rest of time. And that's not even how businesses or products work. It's like, it takes time for a product to get footing in any market. And like, especially a product that's like an annual one, it might take a year or two. Like we might have like, if this Kickstarter bombs, like maybe the product can still have an incredible life cycle. It just might take a year or two to catch on. It might take like a couple hundred reviews. It might take heroes telling their friends once they get it and people being like, wow, that thing's really cool. It's just like, it's the start. And I think it's so easy to just look at the release day or the release month and just be like, oh, that's how we did. When like you could have an incredible release, you could have an incredible Kickstarter. We could have like a $2-3 million Kickstarter, totally fumble the delivery of it. And now there's like now we screwed up the life cycle of the product because now it's been stained by this great Kickstarter and terrible delivery. And that's like the taste that everyone gets left with in their mouth is they're like, these guys can market well, but they can't fulfill their promises. So it's like this weird thing. And I'm trying to keep that front of mind. Like if we just continue to do what we've always done, prioritize the hero experience, make sure we say what we're going to do, deliver the best possible product we can, even though we know we're going to go back and change it and make it better over time. Like, I don't think we're going to have a terrible experience. And I don't think our value as a company or our value as people, speaking of Kyle and I, hinges on how many dollars we can raise in this Kickstarter. I think it hinges, kind of like you said, Kyle, on the goals and the upgrades and the level ups that happen within these real people's lives. And that doesn't happen overnight. It happens like over the course of months or years. And it's like Tacey coming up to us at a Comic-Con and putting 3 or 4 journals down that are totally completed. And she's like, you guys changed my life, and us being able to be like, no, you changed your life. We just give you a journal to do it. Like those moments are so much more valuable to me than like a big old Kickstarter, big old number, the vanity metrics of like, look, I'm a good business owner, or like, look at this thing I did. At the end of the day, I think that's what really like motivates us to continue doing this. So, but yeah, it's like a constant mind battle. So if you guys feel so inclined, or if you're having a thought about Nick and Kyle the next couple of weeks, honestly, the next 5 weeks, just post something nice in the Heroes Quarters. And I do want to give a shout out. I think, was it Devora?
Devora, yeah. John just made a comment about it too.
Yeah. I kind of want, is it okay if we read that comment? I just thought it was.
I think it was posted in the Heroes Guild. So, I mean, in the Heroes Quarters.
It's in the Heroes Quarters. Do you want to read it, Kyle, for the class?
I mean, I could read for sure.
Kyle's super good at reading.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out because this genuinely, I know people like say this a lot. I was not having a good day. I read this and it did make my day. It encouraged me to actually go outside, get some sunlight, to like get ready. I know that's a little dramatic, but that's how much these things can mean to me. So I won't kind of read it because I want you guys
to. This isn't a rant, it's a peon. Another word I learned today. Some businesses exist to make money. That's the primary goal. They may have something we need. If we don't need it or need it enough, they instill FOMO in us, so we will buy more and they'll make more. But some businesses have a mission. They want to make the world a better place, improve lives, share beauty. Oh, they have to charge for their product. Production comes at a price. They may even charge a bit more than production costs. After all, they have to pay bills too. But making money isn't the main goal. The mission is. I'm proud and delighted to be able to support the efforts of our Hero Journal team, because Nick, Kyle, John, Ryan, and the rest of the crew don't just want to sell journals. They want heroes to succeed in our quests, to be happy. Yesterday, I received my Spellbound journal. Ooh, it's gorgeous. I'm in hero heaven. I'll break out a fresh fountain pen for it, but it's not just the journal that inspired this post, because I also asked for a little something that I ordered ages ago and didn't get due to a fulfillment and mishap that was no one's fault. I mentioned it casually, and our team went out of their way to see that I got it. They didn't have to do that. They could have ignored me or told me sorry. That would cut our profit. So thank you, team. I can't wait for the planner Kickstarter. The planner is going to make my day every day. It's like so nice.
Yeah.
It's so like, I don't know. You have these moments and like, I think that as I go through life and like we've been full-time entrepreneurs for 3 years, which is a weird thing to say. And I hate saying it because it makes my stomach hurt, but as you do it longer, it becomes a part of your personality. So it's not just like going through town, but like you meet someone's friend and they go, oh, Kyle runs a business. And now it's like, now I'm talking about a business, and they're like, oh, like what are the numbers? And you talk about that stuff, and
yeah,
really like, they're like, oh, my friend is a company that did this much in revenue. It's like, awesome. It kind of creates this like weird competition. Whereas the real purpose of starting a company like the Heroes Journal is it's a mission oriented company where like it's a very mission focused thing. There are a lot of mercenary type of businesses that we could build that would be 100% that latter. That'd be that prior company.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with doing that, but like the sacrifices and the reason that we're here today is because of that mission and the belief that we make a product that genuinely makes someone's life better. So it's a good reminder of that, especially because like Nick and I live remote from each other now, so we don't get to like experience the business in the way that we did for years, because we were so close to it when we were kind of like in the garage packing journals, getting mail, things like that. Like it was very close.
Yeah.
Now, and I will say it's probably a good distance that we have now, because there were nights where I couldn't sleep because we were so close to it. There's a downside to everything. But it is those moments are like little gold stars, and I put them away in my top drawer. And whenever I'm having a bad day, you just kind of pull them out and you look at it and you go, that's really great.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you said that really well. Also, thanks, John, for getting that pre-launch page. Yeah, I don't have a lot more to add, but I think you're right. Especially you just have a lot of conversations as you become an entrepreneur. And a lot of times you get boiled down to like, how much money are you worth, or what kind of cool thing are you doing in like tech, especially in Seattle or like Austin where I live now, or just like, what's the cutting edge cryptocurrency, NFT? Like, what are you? And I'm like, dude, like I sell journals. Like, I sell paper and glue and fabric, sometimes vegan leather, to the most passionate, group of people I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, it's like, yeah, it's not the like sexiest company of all time, but I think that we have these moments, like you're saying, Kyle, where we're just like, I think something happens. You and I don't talk about this enough, Kyle. We're obviously really big on self-improvement for ourselves. Kyle and I even have like weekly meetings where we like hold each other accountable for our personal goals outside of the business. We've always actually been like that. But I think another big part of Kyle and I's like ethos that we share but don't really harp on is like we like will only surround ourselves with like friends who are in the business of like trying to improve themselves in some way, going after some goal, some kind of quest, really like surrounding ourselves with people that we feel are being the hero of their story. And if there's people in our lives that we're friends with who we feel like aren't being the hero of their story, like we will kind of like call them out or like, not like in a rude way, but like all that to say, this is like a very like deeply held value for Kyle and I. And so, and really what the value is, it's like helping people become the best versions of themselves. And I think that at its best, that's what the Heroes Journal is. And that's what all of our products do. SideQuest Deck, Heroes Planner, Heroes Journal, you name it. Like there has to be a degree like of just this product can be sent out and it'll make someone smile and maybe it'll make someone laugh. But at the end of the day, it'll make them a better person. Kyle and I think, are almost unable to make things that don't in some way push you towards being a better version of yourself. And I love that that's something that subconsciously gets injected to everything we do. So all that to say, thank you guys for just being a part of this wild ride. And thanks for like trusting us and voting with your wallets to keep us in business and keep the Heroes Journal around. It means the world to us. I think Devorah asked what you guys can do to make sure that the Kickstarter, or what did you say exactly?
I have two things I want to add. I want to add this really quick because the community is being brought up a lot. In the last like probably year, I think that the frequency of our live streaming has dropped quite a bit, and there has been at least for me, I feel this. I don't know if you feel this, Nick, but I feel like there's a level of like guilt that I feel because I feel like I'm not like doing the thing for the community. And it's like the showing up for the community and all of those things. And I want to continue to do that. But when I check myself, I don't think to myself, oh, live streaming is not important. I never think that. What I do think is the community is not about me. It's not about Nick. It's not even about John, who helps, who does a great job of like making sure everything is copacetic. The community is about everyone who's a part of the community. It's not about a live stream once a week. It's about the support and the care that you give each other. We don't give Discord enough credit. There's a lot of people in Discord still going at it in there as well. And I've had to check myself a lot on that one because I kind of like self-aggrandize a little bit and I give myself too much credit. Because all we did was we just like made a Facebook group and we introduced all of you guys to each other. That's all Nick and I did. You guys did the rest, and you guys are the ones that made it the kindest and happiest place on the internet.
Yeah.
It's like I was at Universal Studios last week, and if there's not people there who are excited about it, then it's just a place with a bunch of ridiculous buildings. That's all it is. Like, it's just a place that has a bunch of metal and a bunch of rivers and crazy buildings, but the meaning comes from people who are willing to go there and suspend belief and enjoy it. And that's what makes it great. And so that's what I think about with the community as well. So thank you all for making it such a great place.
Yeah, that's good. We need that reminder, I think.
All right, how can you help us on our Kickstarter? The simplest way is to just tell everyone you know about it.
Yeah, so we, obviously, for those who are familiar with Kickstarter, basically a pre-ordering a way to pre-order a product. The twist of Kickstarter is that the company, us, sets a funding goal, and then we try to get to that funding goal as fast as we can. And then beyond that funding goal, we unlock like more product upgrades, improvements. We offer other add-ons, and then the way that you kind of pick your backing tier, there's like different tiers of that you can back. So you can get like, just the digital version of the planner, for instance. These are just hypothetical. Just a digital planner for like, $20 or whatever. And then it's like you move up to like the planner, and there's like a bigger, bundle, and there's like a bigger bundle. And so you kind of like pick your tier of where you're going to pledge your money. Once the campaign closes, there's 30 days. You have 30 days. So it will close on July 27th. Once you pick your backing tier and you close and funding closes, that's all the money we can raise. Then from there, we fulfill the product. So there's, kind of two ways you can really help us. Obviously, number one is back one of those tiers. And if you are early in the line, which if you're watching this live stream, I'm assuming you pay enough attention to us, go to the link that John posted up above, make an account on Kickstarter so that you get notified from Kickstarter when we go live. And then there's early bird pricing in there that you can take advantage of if you move fast enough and back the campaign. That's going to help us a lot. That's number one. Number two, like Kyle said, share the campaign. Share it whatever way that you like to share stuff. Send it to a text thread, send it to a coworker email thread, share it on Slack, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram. Even if you cannot give to the campaign, sometimes just sharing the link is like can be even more valuable than a back or like a pledge. Maybe planners aren't for you. Maybe you love the Heroes Journal, but you don't want to use the Heroes Planner. That's totally okay. All that we would ask for is just share it on your Facebook. Say, hey, I love this company. Like, check out this Kickstarter. And that would mean so much to us. So yeah, that's how you can help. I know that that's a lot to ask. We don't ask for it often. But if you do love what we do here and you want to see us continue to be able to do it at the best possible level, that's how you can really help us. And that's the reason we came to Kickstarter, is because it really kind of puts the keys in your hand in terms of how far we can take this Kickstarter. So yeah.
Yeah. The Kickstarter goes live at 9 a.m. Pacific time on June 27th. Last update we will give on the Kickstarter is on June 26th. So the day before the Kickstarter, we will be doing a live stream. We're doing a live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 6 Central. I mean, that's 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. And we will be keeping you abreast with all of the information that you need for the Kickstarter. And we're also going to have a guest appearance from both John and Ryan are going to be there. So it's going to be really fun. I'm going to make a little flyer. It'll be out by Monday, a little flyer for you guys. And then on Wednesday, and then on Monday, we'll chat about it. And then we will not be live streaming next Friday. I am going to a bachelor party for my best friend, who his fiance used to work at the Heroes Journal. So it's kind of a fun thing. So yeah, that's the last update about the Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could go over the planner and then maybe some pricing.
And then maybe what?
Do we want to do price? We have like some
price. Yeah. We'll do a quick walkthrough of the newest prototypes that we just got in the mail a couple days ago. And then we can walk through some of the pricing. I do want to get some real feedback from you guys. We're just going to we'll ask you general questions about pricing, and then maybe we'll tell you guys what we were actually thinking. Does that work out?
Yeah.
Kind of guess and check style. But anyway, all this talk about the Kickstarter, and you're sitting here thinking, what's in it for me? Well, I'm going to show you. This is the second prototype for the Heroes Planner. And for those that were following along Road to Kickstarter, you are aware that we made 2 versions of this. This is the second version. Aha. Yeah. You're already seeing some slight differences. So I'll start here. This is our perfect bound edition. Hardcover, vegan leather, and this is bound like our typical Heroes journals. So when you open this up, you will see no spiral coiling. This lays flat with no problem. I mean, it's kind of, hang on, look at that. Lays flat with pretty much no problem. This one comes with a cloth ribbon. You'll be able to keep your place pretty easily throughout the year. Got a little intro comic here for you. I'm not going to spoil it. And then I had one of my dear friends here do a mock page, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. Here we go, a little mock page. We even colored in the little thing in the back. You can see some habits, some to-do list items, Monday through Sunday, write in what we're grateful for, all that stuff. But this is the perfect bound edition. It's really great. And for a size comparison, I will hold up our newest Spellbound edition. So you can kind of see that it's slightly bigger. It's a B5 size, definitely still portable, but it's also thinner, if you can tell. So it's this, I believe these are 240 pages. This is 192, so a little bit thinner, lays flat easier, super nice, and it will last you more than a year, I promise. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay, and then we have the Spiral edition. The people who just love coils so much, as you can see, we'll open up to that same page here. Beautiful coils. Now we wanted to cover the coils on the outside so they wouldn't get caught on like bags or if you're trying to carry these around. So that's why we covered them up. Pretty nice, but it still lays flat, obviously super easy. And then the big difference here is the tabs. You can see the tabs right here that go through each month. So for instance, we'll flip to a colored in steampunk Western. This page is not done yet. This will change, by the way, so ignore that. But this is more so what it will look like in the final version. Lays flat. You have these beautiful calendar pages just like that. Super nice. And then we even tested this out. If you really want to, I don't know if I'd recommend this quite yet. Remember, these are just prototypes. You can still fold this all the way over and have just a half page, which is kind of amazing. It gets a little, you know, you're gonna have to break it in a bit. You're definitely gonna show some wear and tear on the spine over time if you do that, but you can fold it all the way over. So, you know,
it'll cost the same.
They're cost the exact same. So there's no, you know, whatever. So yeah, here they are again. The coil bound, the pages are the same size when you get into them, but the actual like structure of them, they're a little bit different in size. Same height, coil is just a little bit, the spiral bound is a little bit wider. Yeah, still hardcover, same leather, vegan leather material, same foiling, all that stuff. Oh, and of course on the back, we're gonna have to move this, but we do have a little bit of embossing that we never had.
Yeah,
the Heroes planner on it.
Oh, yeah. They will cost the same. Some key differences.
Oh yeah, some key differences in.
Yeah, so with perfect binding, so the way that the journals are bound right now, it is impossible to at scale put in tabs. You can do what like those old like Bibles do, where you like cut out the pages and you kind of have like the thumb thing, but like we're not going to do that because we have a lot of art we can't destroy. So big thing there is perfect bound does not have tabs, and I think the pocket will have a different orientation, correct?
Actually they have the same. They have the same
one. Is there enough space?
There is. We actually are not sure if we're going to make a pocket. This is kind of a prototype pocket. It's vertical. This is in the back of the hardbound. They'll be the same. So stuff you'll slip in things like this. Some of the stretch goals for the campaign will involve putting a pocket in the planner. It's a little bit more expensive for us. So if we get enough raised during the campaign, we will put a pocket, as well as an end paper. You notice this is like kind of just boring. We like to put end papers in. And so one of our earlier stretch goals for the campaign will be an end paper. But anyway,
Yeah.
you're gonna
And
shoot
we don't have a map of the multiverse yet, so it will not be a map of the multiverse.
No.
It will be something else.
Yeah, we don't know what it's gonna be.
It'll be cool though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but okay, pricing.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't know how many it's gonna be yet. So I'm not gonna say how many, but for the early bird planners, we are selling it for the cheapest it'll ever be. And just as like a note, because the planners are a little bit like bigger size wise, and they're a little bit more complicated to make for the coiling one, they do cost more per unit to make than the journals do, so they have to be a little bit more. So the early birds will be 60. We felt like that was a really appropriate price because that's the price of the leather versions of the journal. Kind of felt like a fun kind of like crossover for those of you who know.
Before you say the regular price, though, I want to hear from y'all after seeing the quick walkthrough. How much would you pay outside of the early bird pricing for the regular Heroes planner? How much would you expect before we say that?
Before we say the number.
Yeah. It's probably not going to change regardless, but I am curious.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're somewhat on the same page here.
Yeah.
75 from Terry, 80, Alyssa 100, $50 from Kara, all across the board. Keep going. What else we got? I want to hear more. 75 to 100, 60, 70, 80. I'd say 50, 60. Okay. 60 is usually what I pay for a good planner. Okay. These are great.
Yeah. 60. It is interesting that Facebook is like 10% higher, 15% higher than YouTube.
Facebook is 10% higher. It's really interesting. 70, 80.
All right, you guys ready?
So the price we had in mind is $500. No, I'm just kidding. The price we had in mind is
$1 billion.
John says $437. The price we had in mind after the early birds are all gone, which we're not sure how many we're going to have yet. I would guess somewhere in the ballpark of like 200 to maybe 300, maybe more, maybe less.
I had 100 in my head, but
we'll see. I don't know. I guess it depends on how many RSVPs we get. I don't know. Anyway, so the price so the early bird price, $60 a planner. That's the cheapest we will ever sell the Heroes planner. After that, the normal price for the Kickstarter will be $75.
Yeah. And there will be an option to add more. So we'll have like bulk buy options.
Yep.
And then if you want to like either, you can also add them on the back end if you want to just like do that too. So yeah, there's other things, but the pricing $75 retail is what the Heroes planner will cost.
Laura, there will be a digital version. Yes. Yeah, the digital version will we're still figuring it out actually, but there will be a digital version.
Have you priced it out with other planners? We have, we did do our due diligence. So we've looked at a lot of different planners on the market. Yeah. So there are obviously going to be cheaper planners, and there are also going to be more expensive planners out there. So we're a little bit on like the high middle.
Yeah, I should say a few things. So we're anticipating on adding a few more bells and whistles to the planner through some of the stretch goals. Things like a nice end paper, things like a nice pocket. We're gonna add. We might include some stickers as well in there for your planning. So there's going to be a few other goodies. In fact, one of the items on that stretch goal list is even a box or a slipcase that comes. And so it's going to be like a much nicer experience. And then there's going to be another higher tier than that, where we're going to be offering washi tape, some additional stickers, some tearaway notepads, a writing pen, and I don't want to like spoil anyone. There might even be a few side quest cards tossed in there. So it's going to be a fun campaign, but a lot of the success of the campaign is going to drive like what we're able to deliver to you guys. And so a lot of the stretch goals are more about upgrading the product and making it even better. Some of them are about opening up some additional add-on options like plushies, for instance. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, but yeah, we gotta push. And I think Sky says it really well. Sky said, I'll be honest, normally I wouldn't pay that much for a planner, but the storyline really sells it for me and will keep me motivated. I appreciate that. I actually think I agree with that. I don't think I would spend $75 on a planner unless it was as unique as the one that we made, which by the way, is why we didn't make a planner for years, because we couldn't think of a unique enough concept or idea that we really felt good about making that just didn't already exist out there. And we didn't just want to make lines and boxes, throw a sword and circle on it, and then call it the Heroes Planner. We wanted to make something like truly kind of unique. And I think that we've achieved that. And so, we wouldn't be charging $75 for something that we didn't like truly believe was.
We've been like, we work with Ryan, and we make sure that Ryan is paid on time and well fed. And he's been working on this for a year.
Yeah.
So all of his effort has been on this for the most part. I mean, there's been we pulled him away for some things, but we've been working on this for a really long time to make sure that the story is perfect, the art is beautiful. So there's a lot of things that go into the storytelling from a business perspective that kind of landed us at that price as well. Yeah. So we have about 13 minutes.
Yep.
I think that brag clock is important.
Yeah.
We just kind of did a massive brag clock.
Yep.
I want to say, do you want to tease a little bit of the idea of how we want to do the plushie for this one? Or do you want to keep that a secret? Because we've had some pretty good thoughts about the plushie for this one.
So no, I feel pretty good about how we're going to do the plushie.
Yeah.
So as with every Kickstarter, we're going to have to see how it goes. There's not a lot we can promise on the front end, because so much of this campaign is just driven by how much we can raise and what we're able to do. If we raise less, we're not able to do as many fun things just because there's not as much money in the budget outside of us fulfilling the fundamental promise of getting you the thing that you backed. But if we get more, then we can do like more fun stuff without getting too crazy. So as many of you know, our last Kickstarter we offered a stretch goal of $300,000. When we hit that threshold, we unlocked plushies that would be sent to certain tiers and above for free. And so that's what we agreed to do. And we set this really high goal, and we were genuinely so surprised that we got there, and the community really pulled together. It was like a ton of fun, actually. So we're going to do something sort of similar this time. We are going to set plushies as a stretch goal, but instead of just including them in like those top tiers, what we're going to do is make them an add-on option. So what that allows us to do is get plushies to people who really want them, and then not get plushies to people who might not want them. Because what happened last time is we sent people like multiple plushies and they didn't necessarily want or need them. And then what ended up happening is we had a bunch of these like leftover plushies that we, kind of had to like move from warehouse to warehouse, and we didn't know what to do with them for a long time. This time around, it lets us get a little more flexibility. It gives you guys an a la carte option to add on plushies. That's if we unlock them, by the way.
Yeah.
And it also enables us to have a more accurate, purchase order when we actually get them, so we don't just have, leftover plushies.
I will say, on top of that, what it does is it gives you guys like another opportunity to help push to the next stretch goal.
Yeah.
Because if the goal is to keep climbing up this ladder, it just kind of gives you another chance. Because on Kickstarter, you can only back one tier.
Yeah.
So having a couple additional add-ons will say like, oh, how can we get to the next one? It'll allow you to put like, I don't know, a couple more dollars towards the campaign. So that also helps.
Yeah. Cool. Should we do brag clock?
Let's do it.
Fantastic. Laura, I hope all the stretch goals are met. That'd be a really fun campaign. Really, really fun. Cool. But it only happens if we can get enough buzz and enough shares around this campaign.
I wish we had had conversations about chickens today, because I could have used the pun Braggo Cluck, but we didn't. So
Nice.
it's just Bragg Clock today. I don't have a lot of creative energy anymore.
Yeah, it's all right. It's been a long week.
It's been a long week. Will there be an option to add an extra planner? There will be, and you can add either binding as well. So if you get like the super awesome stationery bundle, but you want a second planner, you can also add it on there on the back end.
Cool.
Oh, and we're not while the brags are pouring in, we will not be offering any of our current products on the Kickstarter. Those are going to be available on the website.
Yeah. I had a thought about that and I wanted to talk to you about it off the live, but
it sounds like there's a potential that we might be selling products that we sell on our website.
We're not sure. We're mostly sure, but we're not 100% sure. So we'll see. Yeah. But cool. Do you want to take Facebook?
Sure.
YouTube.
We're kind of waiting it out, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, it takes time to type.
Yeah, I will say, if you guys are new to Free Journal Friday, there's not always a lot of new people, but if you're new to it, make sure and sign up for the giveaway. There are pinned comments on Facebook and YouTube where you sign up really fast and you might win a free journal at the end of this. The only catch is that you have to be at the live stream when we say your name, and then you have to claim it in the comments. And that way we can make sure that you're here, make sure that you get your free journal. So now is a good time to sign up if you are not going to participate in Bragg O'Clock, or if you already did participate in Bragg O'Clock. But without further ado, I think it's time that we brag.
David said, I finally got every single dish done all at once. Also, I got all this week's grading done. I met a new friend over lunch as well.
Hey, that's a fantastic brag. I love it. Good for you, David. I feel like you're really firing on all cylinders, David. Anyway, I see your post in the Heroes Corner. It seems like you're doing really well. It makes me happy. It's been really fun to kind of watch you build this better narrative, better story over the years. Proud of you. Okay. Jessica said, Bragg O'Clock, I read over 100 books so far this year. That is quite the brag and quite the accomplishment. And Jessica, I want to know, what is the best one? I just downloaded a new book last night, so hopefully it's one of those. All right.
This guy said, I survived John going back to work for the first week since the pandemic.
Wow.
All 3 kids survived too. Congratulations. A new chapter.
It's great. Yeah, a lot of work. Kara said, brag, this week I took a sleeping drought and woke up on the far side of surgery and am recovering well. Another major hurdle conquered, an unwanted health quest. I love that, Kara. Congratulations. I love that we're moving forward, making progress on the unwanted health quest. It's good.
Kara, I'm really sorry. I say your name wrong every time, and I know how to say it. I say it wrong every time. So I'm sorry for that.
Kara or Kara?
I always say Kara. I think it's Kara.
I'm not sure what it is.
Kara hung out with us the mythical mornings. She was there every day. They were there every day. Deborah said, I'm starting a new journal, and this time I'm making magic. Deborah.
Love that. Laura on YouTube said, brag, I graduated with my master's and got my first full-time job in my field. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Hopefully you didn't have any student debt, but if you do, it's time to go on the offensive, you know?
Yeah.
Start paying that down. Congratulations, Laura.
Kiara said, got my IMA Spellbound package yesterday. I'm excited. It looks and feels amazing. Loving the color even more. After my current journal, I'll be starting on all the leather editions next.
Wow.
You're in for a fun road, because those leather editions are nice.
You are. I'm excited. My next Heroes journal is going to be the Spellbound. I'm very excited for it.
It's so pretty.
It's really pretty. It sits on my desk. I'll look at it all day. I love it. Let's see. Stacy said, had a great time helping Angela sell her teas last weekend, and my nephew was promoted to Eagle Scout last night. Nice ceremony and party. So amazing. Speaking of the amazing community of the Heroes Journal, I love that Stacy met Angela and helped her run a booth. I think that's incredible.
Yeah. Terry said, I was at a gas station and some guys were calling me a fat and then swear word and other taunts. As I was walking away to pay, they began to question my manhood. I am proud of how much I have lost, how much I've lost and how far I've come. I did not let them affect my mood, nor did I reply or even acknowledge what they said. That's amazing, Terry. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That should not happen to anyone. But the way that you handled it is incredible, and you should be proud of yourself. And also, congrats on the progress that you've made.
Yeah, that's like incredibly deep evidence of how self-confident you are, Terry. Yeah. It's like, I think that you proved it to yourself first. And so anytime anyone outside of you questions that proof, you can say to yourself, I know what I proved to myself. And that's incredible. Good for you, Terry. Melanie said, brag, I figured out where a limiting belief was coming from. That's massive. I would boil everything down, like the Heroes Journal, the goal setting process, to questioning limiting beliefs. Like I really think that's kind of just the core of it. And I love that Melanie said that she like figured out where it was coming from, which is a good way of saying like they're not always obvious where they come from, but you know where they come from, and then you can kind of extinguish them from there. So I love it.
Kinsey said, kind of a future brag, but next week I officially complete my first year of teaching. Also, going to be going back to work up in Maine as an archery counselor. So this will be my last live stream that I can catch live, but we're definitely going to keep watching these on my lunches. Oh, that's awesome. I got your email. I'm going to read it. And the fact that you're finishing your first year of teaching is such a fun full circle moment. Because we've been chatting with you for a long time, and it's cool to see the progress.
Yeah. It's all the brags on YouTube, but Jessica did follow up with the book, her favorite book of the year. It's called Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. It's juvenile fiction fantasy. It's by far the best book I've read in the last year. That's a powerful recommendation. Cool. Is that everyone, or were you all caught up?
Nope. Judy said, I have been slowly working on decluttering my home. It's a big job. You know, I'm doing the same thing. I'm moving soon, so I have to start to kind of like consolidate.
Devorah said, my free journal from last Friday just arrived. Woo-hoo.
Sean said, I've been going through my house and slowly cleaning and organizing, and each room. My boys' bathroom hasn't been this clean in a while. I also am currently getting my glorious 10 days of child-free time while my boys are up north with my mom. I also received Volunteer of the Year for Arizona's PTA.
Wow. That's awesome.
Year #1 MVP.
Love it. Enjoy your time away from the kids. Amber said, I quested every day this week, which is a fantastic brag. Love seeing that.
That's a kind of brag that's indicative of why we do Brag O'Clock, you know?
I love it.
It's just get out there and just quest.
Good one to end on. Thank you guys so much for being at the live stream and listening to Kyle and I rant about random stuff, have some heartfelt moments about how we're feeling about the Kickstarter, and making us feel supported. Hopefully you guys feel supported by us. And if you don't, well, you might win a free journal, and then you'd probably feel really supported by us, because we're about to spin the Wheel of Names. This is how it works. We're going to spin a giant wheel. Whoever it lands on has 90 seconds to claim their free journal. If you do not claim it in 90 seconds, we will spin this wheel again. Now, the way you claim it is you just comment something in the comment section of your chosen streaming platform, YouTube or Facebook, and then we will know that you're here. Without further ado.
Spin the wheel.
And the winner Friday.
Sky.
Bye. Our old friend Sky, after surviving a week with the kids, is getting a free Heroes Journal or Cyclo's deck. Make sure
We got it. We know Sky's here.
There she is. Yeah, I didn't even start the timer. We knew Sky was here. Fantastic. Well, congratulations, Sky. You know what to do. Email John with your address and your desired free journal, and we will send that as soon as possible. Congratulations.
You know, I won't even put John's email in there. You know what it is. All right. Well, remember this. You will see us not next Friday, but next Monday, June 26th. You'll see us at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will see us here. We're going to answer all of the questions that you have about Kickstarter. We will talk about tiers. We'll talk about stretch goals, talk about add-ons. We will talk about the art. Ryan will be there. John will be there. And so should you. And in the meantime, if you're going to quest,